I have a 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 and 2500 AT4X. And I wanted to show you guys these trucks side by side because although they both wear the AT4X badge, they go about it differently. Special shout out to Jerry Seiner, Buick GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. If you would like to purchase a truck or order one from them, be sure to reach out to Frank or their sales team. Let them know you saw the video. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker and then we will do a walk around on both trucks. The 1500 was painted in dynamic blue metallic, obsidian rush interior, which is standard for the AT4X. Be sure to pause it for the standard equipment. I'm not going to go through every single thing, but there's a lot of good features on this truck that do come a part of this AT4X package. Now, as far as the standard vehicle price goes, $79,200. Here's some of the options that were added to this one. And all in, this truck does have a total price of $85,175. And then here is the 2500. The color on this one is Thunderstorm Gray. Again, just be sure to take note of some of the standard equipment on this truck as well. Base price is $82,800 for the HD. And with the options that were added right here with the diesel is $95,720. Let's start with the 1500 first. This truck does have the AEV bumper standard up front. It has the black recovery hooks, which I love. You can see that big skid plate down below. And with this bumper, it does give it better ground clearance and it gives it a more aggressive styling. And this color is fire. I mean, this is the way to go. Like, I normally wouldn't pick a blue like this, but it's actually the perfect color for an off-road pickup. Notice some of the styling in the hood. And when you move closer to the grille, you notice that this has like a bronze color. Now, I will say, I wish they would have added that bronze to the GMC logo and the AT4X logo. I think it would look really good. Parking sensors down below. You can see that AEV stamp right there. And this is all steel, by the way, too. So fog lights are LED, including the headlights. They did restyle those for 2022, and they still look great today. They say GMC right there. Now let's move over to the HD. You can get the AEV bumper up front, however, you can't buy it separately or it doesn't come as an option separately. You have to get the whole AEV package, which changes the front and rear bumpers, the wheels. It gives it more skid plates and embroiders AEV on the headrest, which I could care less about. But same styling on the grille, that bronze color. Forward-facing camera on both sides. They do go with the red tow hooks if you get the standard bumpers with the parking sensors, full LED headlights, and the fog lights down below. And they do stamp 2500 on the side here. This has a more aggressive style hood and a functional hood scoop if you do get the diesel. Now, back over to the half ton. They did add the diesel for the AT4X for 2024. In the past, you only could get the 6.2 liter. And in this truck, you do have the diesel, as you just heard, and you have the standard 6.6 gas engine. Now, off to the side, they do restyle the fender flares for the heavy duty side. Same thing goes for the half ton too. This truck is riding on a 33.5-inch tire. I'm surprised they did not offer this truck with 35s, at least with the AEV package, but no matter what you do, you get these 33.5-inch tires. They did restyle the wheels for 2024, and they actually do look a little bit better. I saw one with a lighter color gray, so depending on the color of the truck, it seems like you get a lighter or darker color wheel, so just keep that in mind. Both trucks do have the Multimatic suspension down below, independent front suspension on both sides. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's kind of tucked in there for the HD trucks. AT4X badge off to the side. It says HD for this truck, and then of course AT4X. Now, one thing I like about the HD are the mirrors. You can probably add the tow mirrors to the half tons, but personally, I don't think they look that great on half ton pickups. Even with the lift, it still kind of looks kind of funny. But you can clearly tell, even though the AT4X half ton has that 2-inch lift, the HD is significantly taller because it does have an 1.5-inch lift and it has 35-inch tires. So with those two things added up, and including the fact that HDs are already taller out of the gate, this truck just has a little bit more girth to it, and I do like the fact that they add 35s standard. These are a 34.8-inch tire, 12 inches wide. So the wheel design is not my favorite, but for the most part, it does complement the truck really well. And moving on back, smart key system for both trucks. They do provide steps on the front of the bed, however, for the HD. 24-gallon fuel tank, and this one does have a 36-gallon fuel tank. And check out the suspension. They look kind of similar if you look at the leaf pack. So these leaves are different from the other half tons. So they give you 5 leaves, kind of like Big Brother over here, although you can kind of see these leaves are a little bit more girthier in comparison. The spring rate's probably different. Multimatic out back, just like you saw on the front. And they do give you wheel well liners out back on both sides, which is probably much needed. They do provide these lights too on the fender flares. However, they don't do the same thing for the half tons. LED tail lights on both sides. I do, however, like the ones on the HD a lot better. Both trucks do come standard with the multi-pro tailgate and the kicker sound system. Now mine does have the addition of the lights down below here. Same thing goes for the half ton. You have the kicker sound system, and the lights are an option for both trucks. Spray and bed liner, they do stamp AT4X in the front of the bed for both sides of the house. You cannot get a fifth wheel prep package with the AT4X, and even if you wanted to on the half ton side of the house, this truck doesn't have enough payload for a gooseneck style trailer. However, if you do need to tow a gooseneck trailer or a fifth wheel, that is provided with the AT4X HD. They give you the 4 and 7 pin, bed lights on both sides of the house, and as I said earlier, they do stamp AT4X on the front for the HD, and both trucks have 400 watts of power. They set the rears up exactly the same on both sides. The only difference is you have a class 5 receiving hitch on this side of the house versus a class 4 for the half tons. They do provide the steps in the rear too, and they both have a light that shines down for your conventional hitch if you are hooking up at night. Now as far as the interior goes, they're going to be pretty similar because they both have the Obsidian Rush. So real leather seats, 16-way seat with adjustability to the top of the bolstering here, massagers. But here's one thing that HD doesn't have that the half ton has. Yep, power steering column. Also, this truck does have the paddle shifters, which the GM HDs have the gear limiter. But yeah, these seats are 16-way. You have adjustability for the bolstering, shoulder support, and the massagers are only for the back, not the bottom. And this is how you pretty much control that on the side. But yeah, pretty much the exact same setup here on the door. Although, hold on. They have the AT4X badge right there. But yeah, the Bose sound system, all that stuff is going to be pretty much the same. Let's go back and check on the other side. So I misspoke. The door cards are actually different styling. So they don't put that AT4X badge, which I do like on the half tons. But yeah, the buttons over here are going to be pretty much the same. And I like the overall styling of the interior pieces. You have like a black chrome right there. And here is the center console for the HD. And here's the half ton. So they don't put the AT4X badge right there. They do leather wrap the grab handles up front and the rear with leather. They're gonna have the same screens, so 12.3 and 13.2. Let's go ahead and start it up. The HD does have a column shifter versus the regular shifter on this half ton. And that's probably the only difference down below here. This is just basically storage on the HD truck. And for 2024, if you get the 6.2, the sport mode does make the exhaust louder. So you probably can hear it now, but now it just went away. So nice and quiet. If you put it back in sport mode, there it is. You can hear it a lot better, right? And it does work also for the off-road mode and the terrain mode too, which you have to be in 4 high to use. So you don't have that many drive modes for the HD. They only give you normal and off-road, and that's it. So this truck does also have a front and rear locker, or you can just lock the rear. Downhill assist is right there. And like I said, the screens are gonna be pretty much the exact same on both sides. There might be a few differences there, but for the most part, this is all wrapped in leather, which is the same. And I just like the overall design of these trucks. They've done a great job. And these are definitely like leaders in the off-road segment. So as I mentioned, you don't have the shifter here, is up top. And yeah, like I said, everything else is pretty much the same. Now on the HD side, you do not have a front locker, you only have a rear. Downhill assist right there, and they do provide this button which drops all 4 windows down together. The front axle on this truck is going to be an open diff too, by the way, if you're wondering. But yeah, the screens are exactly the same. Steering wheel is pretty much the exact same too. Let's go ahead and take a look out back really quickly, and then we'll move over to the numbers on the door. I figured I'd show this one more time for the AT4X, and as you guys see on the passenger side, they have the AT4X badge. Now both trucks do have the 12 speaker Bose sound system, so you get this additional speaker at the top here. And storage for the seat backs here. Outboard heated seats with USBs. Plenty of storage down below. And this cab is a decent size. It's not bigger than Ram's 1500s, by the way, but definitely a good size still. Lastly, here are your cup holders for the armrests. There's 2 more there. And here's just a better look at that suede roof. Everything's pretty much the exact same for the HD. As I mentioned, they leather wrap these grab handles, and these seats are slightly different from the regular AT4s too, because of the Obsidian Rush interior. But same storage as I just showed you, top and bottom. Outboard heated seats, air vents, cup holders right there, and then here's 2 more right there. Both trucks do have a sliding rear glass as well, and you can drop down the headrest for more visibility. If you are thinking about towing a trailer over 5,000 pounds, I would probably consider an HD. And it's really because of the axle ratings, the gross vehicle weight rating, which gives you more payload. So the gross axle up front is going to be 5,600 pounds, and it's rated for 66 out back, 11,350 GVWR. So this truck has a payload of 2,855 pounds, and curb weight is 8495 with conventional towing at 18.5 and an 18.1 for Gooseneck. The numbers for the half ton are significantly less, and when you think about payload, this truck only has 1,161 pounds of payload. You can tow 8,700 pounds conventionally, but like I said, these trucks just don't have the payload, which limits what you can actually haul. So when it really comes down to it, I think the HD is a better buy if you plan on towing. However, if you really do intend to take these trucks off-road, the half ton is going to be the better truck here, because you do have front and rear lockers. The truck isn't as heavy, so it's going to perform better, and it's not going to get bogged down in mud as much as this HD truck will. But if you live on a farm or you do go off-road to some good campsites, obviously the HD will get the job done, and it will pull a trailer effortlessly, especially a 7,000-8,000 pound trailer if you're considering doing that. But I hope you guys liked the video. Special shout out again to Jerry Seiner, Buick GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. If you would like to purchase from them, be sure to reach out to Frank or ask for anyone else in the sales staff. See you guys soon.